Greetings and salutations, comic book conversationalists. This is Comic Book Hangover. My name is Scott, and here we are with not comic book stuff this time, but the second half of my July movies. Little late on this. I've been having some issues, as I'm sure you can tell with the sound. I'm not using an external mic. I'm using the mic that's on the phone because there was an upgrade that went through Androids recently, and that upgrade completely killed the ability for my phone to recognize the receiver for my external mic. So none of my mics work on this phone anymore. I've been trying to figure out how to get it how to fix it. I can't. Everything I looked up online doesn't apply to this phone. I have a Galaxy S23, and I even took it down to the place where I got the phone, and they had no idea what the deal was with it. So I am going to do the best I can with what I have until I can figure it out. I might end up just getting a new phone, and hopefully that'll fix everything. I don't know. But be that as it may, because of the situation, I'm doing my video in a different area. I'm actually, instead of upstairs, I'm downstairs with part of our movie collection behind us. Just kind of give you an idea of a little bit of what I'm working with. But that said, let's go through the movies that I watched in the second half of July, starting with, this is actually another collection that I have, but this one here, I watched Duck Soup, one of the best Marx Brothers movies. I love old movies like this. I have Marx Brothers. We've got Laurel and Hardy, Three Stooges, W.C. Fields, Abbott and Costello. I'm working on getting some Buster Keaton, and it just great old school comedies. I love them very much. I'm also looking to get the Thin Man collection on Blu-ray. I like those movies as well. But I watched Duck Soup. Movie always cracks me up. It never fails to entertain and amuse me. Then, as sort of as a request by my son, I got a couple in here I think were a request by my son. But this one here is The Extreme Adventures of Super Dave. I'm an old school fan of Super Dave Osborne. I love the guy from way back when. I know the guy who played the character Super Dave. He wound up passing away, but I like the guy. I love the whole concept and the gimmicks of Super Dave. I love the Saturday morning cartoon. I wish they put that out on DVD, but this year I think it's been put on Blu-ray. This is a very bare bones DVD. It has widescreen format. That's pretty much it. But Super Dave, Extreme Adventures of Super Dave, loved it. And next one we watched is the first Blu-ray of the month, and that is Mortal Kombat. And again, I apologize. I hope I'm talking loud enough so you guys can hear me clearly. But if not, at least you can see the movies that I'm talking about. So the original Mortal Kombat movie, still a fun movie, great music, an awesome soundtrack. What more can you say? This next one, this is one of those movies. I have a lot of movies in this collection that I picked up over the years. I only buy because I like the titles. And the movies themselves may not be the best, but the titles, I love them. And this is one of them. This is a movie called Negative Happy Chainsaw Edge. And, of course, it's not the original box art. This is black and white print out of the box art, because I think the original box art was pretty much destroyed by the time I got a hold of this DVD. I think I picked this up from Family Video. Let's see. Yes, Family Video. So this is the way it is now. So I can get regular box art for it. But movie, really, it's all over the place. It's very, very scattered. Dude meets a chick. She's fighting some guy. This dude here with a chainsaw. It's really the title sells me on it. So I really don't care what the movie's about. If it's got a cool title, I'm gonna pick it up. This next one, clearly I got this from Hollywood Video. There's another one that I picked up because I like the star, Bernie Mac, one of my favorites of all time. But I've not watched it. I've never seen it until now, until the 20th of this month. I watched Mr. 3000. I mean, it's a typical movie. I mean, there really wasn't anything spectacular about it. But at Bernie Mac, anything that Bernie Mac was in was fantastic, was beautiful. Next up is a sequel. I watched Romancing the Stone a little while back, so I had to watch the sequel, Jewel of the Nile. Now, both the Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile, they were my sister's DVDs, and when she passed away 20 years ago, I wound up collecting inheriting her movie collection. So this is one of those movies I want to upgrade it on Blu-ray, but since it was my sister's, I kind of want to keep the DVDs. I don't know, but still a fun movie. I mean, it's just a continuation of the first one. These people go on a new adventure. It's great. Danny DeVito, you gotta love him. The next one is another multi-pack. This is also a Blu-ray, but on this Godzilla multi-pack, I watched Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Probably one of my favorite versions of Godzilla. And this is when, excuse me, this is when Godzilla movies were unique. Whereas from Godzilla 85 to Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, they kind of carried a storyline. After Godzilla Millennium 2000, each one that came out kind of had its own storyline. It was kind of like, there's this movie and then there's 54. That's it. Nothing else in between. This one here, I think just it stands on its own. And this one is one of the few where some roles were reversed in the sense that Godzilla was evil. Godzilla was mean. He's just like happily and gleefully killing people. On the flip side, King Ghidorah, who's traditionally a Godzilla villain, a monster from space who just goes from planet to planet destroying everything, he was a recast as a guardian monster, so he's fighting on the good guy side with Mothra to face off against a really wicked redesign of Godzilla. And this is also for you comic book fans out there. Marvel was recently doing a line of Godzilla versus different Marvel characters. In the Godzilla versus Thor, this is the Godzilla from this movie that they were using, and it's actually considered a direct sequel to this. They mentioned the movie. They say it's been 20 years ago. So great stuff. So following up that with probably one of the saddest, this was during the saddest week of 2025, where we lost music icon, legend, God, Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. But for myself personally, as a longtime wrestling fan, we also lost Hulk Hogan. It's still kind of weird. It's been a while. It's been 2-3 weeks. Still very, very weird to know that we live in a world without a Hulk Hogan. That we've got a WrestleMania coming up. It's going to be the first WrestleMania in a world without a Hulk Hogan. And I know there's been a lot of people saying stuff about, well, he was this, he was that, he was not a good person. Here's the fact. This is the bottom line fact on that whole thing before I get to the movie. Because I'm hearing a lot of people trashing those of us who are mourning the loss of Hulk Hogan. There's Hulk Hogan, vitamins, prayers, exercise, all that sort of stuff, okay? The what you gonna do, brother. That's Hulk Hogan. Then there's Terry Bollea. Terry Bollea was the guy who played the character Hulk Hogan. Now, those of us who are mourning the loss of Hulk Hogan, we're not mourning the loss of Terry Bollea. Okay? Understand that. What Terry Bollea said and did has nothing to do with what Hulk Hogan was all about. So anybody out there who's trashing people like me who are saddened by the loss, and rightfully so, by the loss of Hulk Hogan, you guys can take a long walk off a short pier. You guys can just shove it. You guys, 2 words for you, as we used to say it back in the day, you guys can suck it, as far as I'm concerned, because your opinions don't matter. Now, that said, that's all I'm going to say about it. Hopefully it's all I got to say about it, because the matter's been long been settled. But on the day of his passing, I dug out and I had to watch No Holds Barred. And fortunately, my son was down here when the best line in this movie, what's that smell? Dookie. He got to hear that. So that's if there's no other part of this movie, I want him to see it's that one part. So No Holds Barred, rest in peace, Hulkster. Next up, one of my favorite George Clooney movies. Actually, I think out of all these movies that we own, and we have quite a few of them, I think this might be the only movie that we own that has George Clooney in it. And of course, I am speaking of none other than the movie that he is known for, the movie that kickstarted his career. Yes, I am talking about Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Great movie. Also introduced FT. This was the movie that they used as the basis of the Killer Tomato movie or cartoon series from Fox Kids. Great movie. Love it. I got 2 more Killer Tomato movies to watch. Now, digging into some classics in my collection. Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, Trading Places. Great. I mean, there's really not much more you can say about this. This is just a great movie all the way around. And next one, another great movie. Unfortunately, this one also has Peter Dinklage in it. Not one of my favorite people, but still a great movie. He was really good in it as well. Death at a Funeral. I kind of think that the character he played in this one was a lot like his character, how he is in real life. But Death at a Funeral, Frank Oz directed it. And of course, Frank Oz, everyone knows as the voice of Fozzie Bear and Porky, and not Porky Pig, Miss Piggy. Sorry, Miss Piggy. But Death at a Funeral, a great sort of a comedy of errors movie. I love it. Of course, I was kind of going through these kind of quick because I know it's going a little long here. So next up, the classic Joe Dirt. Not much more you can say about that. Then I had sort of a twofer here. I got Ping Pong Summer. Talks about summer of 1985, which is one of the reasons why I picked it up, because a lot of stuff was familiar to me from 1985. You know, I was only like 10 years old then. I still had an awareness of the world around me, but great movie. Lovely little day in the life of. And then, of course, I couldn't watch Ping Pong Summer without watching Ping Pong Playa, which is a funny little movie. I love the way they censored some of the words in this one here, where the sound of a basketball being bounced off a tarmac or whatever. But a great little movie about a dude who he's a Chinese dude, but he acts like he wants to act like a basketball player, but he's just no good at it. He talks about his Chinese heritage, but he also kind of shuns it a little bit. And through a series of events, he's got to step up, got to be his own man, and give us a really good movie in the meantime. Almost done here. Another Blu-ray. This was a DVD heavy month. I gotta apologize for that, but I gotta go through these as well. But Green Lantern, Emerald Knights. The only reason why I bought this one is because Roddy Piper did a voice of a character in it. So outside of that, we got the last one here. Now, this is not a movie that a lot of people are going to be able to find. You're not going to find this one in stores. You may be able to find it online. I went to. And if you've seen my little short video, I went to a meet and greet with Linnea Quigley, where we also got to screen a movie called Return of the Living Dead. If you've not seen it, you need to see it. I don't know why I said a movie called, because everybody should know what Return of the Living Dead is by now. But while I was there, they had the theater we were at had this little stand there that people could take movies and sort of like share movies with. And I saw this little stack of movies. There's 3 of them, and I'm going to be watching them. I'm going to watch the next part of this one here coming up soon. And I'm always attracted to movies with interesting titles and interesting ideas. And I love low-budget independent fare with the effects. You can clearly see they didn't have money to do what they wanted to do, so they're like, whatever, screw it. Why hide it? Let's just have fun with it. And this is one of those movies. It's called Psycho Ape. Now, this is clearly it's a guy in a monkey suit. Part of the story just does not make a whole lot of sense. It wanders off sort of like a kid at Disneyland, just kind of like, oh, what is all this stuff here? Oh, it just wandered off, and you got to grab him by the hair and yank him back to get him back in line. But it's a great little fun movie. I gotta say, I loved it. From just the way the characters are semi-self-aware of the ridiculousness of the world that they're in, to there's like a 5-minute argument between 2 characters of what is the better movie, Toy Story or Ratatouille. Of course, we all know Toy Story is better than Ratatouille, but there's this huge conversation about it. And of course, you've got a guy in a monkey suit going around killing people with bananas. One reason why I bought it. But a great movie. I loved it. It's just so outrageously, ridiculously funny. I couldn't help it. I loved it. And I do have Psycho Ape 2, and I will be watching that. That's actually on Blu-ray, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks. But there you go. That's it. Those are the movies I watched in the second half of July. And again, I do apologize for the sound quality of this one, because thank you, Android, or whoever's behind it, for doing this update and totally screwing up my phone. So now I can't use my microphones, but I will figure it out as soon as I can. In the meantime, I'm going to do the best I can with these videos. Sound quality won't be the best, but I'm still going to do the best I can. But there you go. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for continued support, if I can talk. And we will see everybody next time with another video. See ya.